Greetings, bunholes! It's been a little while because I have been absolutely addicted to playing Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I can't seem to stop. I just beat the first Mass Effect game, and I'm in the middle of Mass Effect 2. But before I did beat it, I was playing around with the updated graphics of how to create a pretty Femshep, so I figured I'd make a cute little guide on how I make pretty Femsheps. I have a footage of several different ones that I've used and ones that I've made. So I figured if you'd like a little guide on how to make your own, because it's a little difficult because the presets are kind of meh, so I'll go ahead and show you what I do. If you want to skip ahead to where I just show what I do for the characters, I'll put a timestamp here. So you got your default John Shepard, which looks a lot better than the original, like it's updated to look like the later games. And then you got the default Jane Shepard, and I hate to say it, but I'm not a big fan of her design. This was the updated Jane Shepard from Mass Effect 3. There's some features about her I like, some I don't like, but the reason I don't like her is mainly because her light green eyes and red hair and her freckles remind me of Chucky. I'm not the only one who has said this. We're gonna do custom female. I'll show footage that I made where you can see a side-by-side comparison where I made the classic Femshep face, but updated with the new graphics for the Legendary Edition. The reason I'm not a big fan is mainly, I mean, I like her hair, her makeup's nice, but her bone structure, the narrow nose, and the somewhat exaggerated lips just kind of look like she's had, you know, like Los Angeles Botox, and you know what I mean? Like, she just looks a little too Hollywood, or looks a little more like a 3D comic book character, which isn't that bad, but it's just, it doesn't suit the look of the other characters, in my opinion. If you like her, cool, but whatever. So, if you change appearance, this particular head looks very much like the classic Femshep, but it's not that great, in my opinion. So I do a lot of different alterations. Let me go through the presets for you. That one's kind of nice. These all have little, you know, features and benefits. I don't understand why they would pick jet black skin and hot pink hair. By the way, if you want another humorous video where I do something just like this with Mass Effect Andromeda customization characters, I'll put a card and a link in the description. It's pretty hilarious. It's kind of long, but dude, you want to see some ugly-ass characters, watch that video. It's pretty funny. This one's kind of nice too. They all have different features that I like and don't like. That's a little older. Shepard's supposed to be 28 years old though, so... The cool thing is, in Legendary Edition, you get new sets of hair, like this one, which I like. It's actually pretty cool. That's a nice head. That one kind of looks like what the original Jane Shepard looked like in the original game that came out on Xbox 360, PC, and later PS3. Oh yeah, see, that one looks older too. Okay, so... this face is actually the one that I use because the bone structure is pretty damn close to what I want. But first off, I'll show you a particular Femshep face that I like, and hair. There's a lot to choose from. First off, let's change the hair. I'll show you the different hairs there are and which ones are my favorite. If you want like a badass soldier chick with a buzz cut, you know, these, like there's the pretty cool corn roll mohawk, whatever. That was in Mass Effect Andromeda. There's the, I guess that's the flat top buzz cut. That one looks pretty cool. Reminds me of Jack from Mass Effect 2. She's got like cool patterns shaved there. Anyways, go back to regular hairs. So this is my favorite as far as if you want to make the classic Femshep as you saw in that clip. This was one that I used a lot, especially in the second game, because it looks like a pixie cut. This one's decent. These are okay, but I'm not a big fan of the hairline, you know what I mean? Like, this was alright too, but again, my favorite hairstyles are this one, which is really cool, because this isn't in the original version. The ponytail with the little bangs. This is cute, but it looks a little too, I don't know, retro, I guess. Again, I'm not a big fan of this. This looks cute on some characters, but the poofed up hair just reminds me of, like, the way women used to have their hair back in the 60s, where it just made their head look a lot bigger than it really is. This is one of my favorites of the new version. It's got a cool, like, shaved side. It looks kind of punky. And this is my other favorite. This is a nice, smooth, long kind of A-line haircut, which I'm a fan of. So anyway, I'll start with this one because it's a new edition and it's pretty cool. And I'll show you the colors. There's most of the colors were included in Mass Effect, the original Mass Effect, and you got like platinum, you got brown, black, gray, and then pretty awesome red. But for some reason they decided to add purple and kind of a maroon or something. I don't know what color that is. But no blue. It's weird. No blue, no green, just purples, but whatever. For this Femshep that some people really seem to like, I did the fiery red. This is actually really close to how I'm going to make her look anyway. So I'm going to do that one. These eyebrows are also my favorite. I'll go through the others real quick. You can have no eyebrows. You can have super thin ones. Some of these are alright. And then some of these are butt ugly. I don't like these. So I'm just going through the presets and options real quick. For this hair, I like to keep it close to the hair color, which is red. We'll do the middle red for that one. And let's get rid of the scar for a minute. Some of these scars are pretty cool, but as far as eyes, these eyes are pretty decent. There's some really not decent eyes. These eyes look good if you have like black eyeliner or black, the black eyeshadow. This one, and then you've got eyes that look like they're upside down. Ew. And these are like, you're on crack. You don't want that one. Already, those are the eyes that are default with this face, and I think they look much nicer. I prefer to have the eyes little mid-face. The width is pretty good. Sometimes I spread them out just a little bit. Eye depth is important to me because if they stick out too far, they're gonna look really weird. So I like to put them about just a little past halfway. If you have them too in towards the skull, certain scenes when they blink, they're gonna like, the eyes are gonna stick out of the lids. It's weird. This is an older game, so even though it's updated, it's gonna look a little, it's gonna look a little strange from time to time. Brow depth, I like to have the eyebrows somewhat defined so they stick out a little more. Also, eyebrow height, I always like them closer to the tops of the eyes. For this, there's a lot of cool eye colors to choose from. That one looks really pretty. I like the blue on this particular character. You can have them be black or even red. If you want to make a badass renegade character, you can even start with red eyes. That looks nice too. I prefer eye colors that are a little darker to avoid the uncanny valley effect, which, even though the eyes are very improved in Legendary Edition, I just think when their eyes are darker rather than light, they look less scary, I guess. Now the jaw. Chin looks pretty good. I might lower it just a little. I do like a defined chin that's chiseled. Chin depth means that, like, when it sticks out, you can have, like Bruce Campbell. You don't want that, really. You can make your Femshep look any way you want. This is just what the features that I do, and unfortunately, most of the ones I make have very similar facial settings. In fact, they're all kind of the same because, they have limited customization options, but they're also like, you can make very different kinds of faces, but the ones that I think are the most attractive are these particular settings. So I like to keep the chin less thick, and the jaw, if you turn it all the way down, it looks eh. So you want to balance it out. If you're gonna have a defined chin, you want a slightly stronger jaw. Not too far apart, not too wide. This is the lips that I almost always use. There's only 2 sets of lips that I like. These are okay, but I don't like them to have a permanent smile on their face, because it just looks weird. So it's this pair of lips that's my favorite, or this one that we were just... I don't really see the difference between these two. They're almost identical, but I guess we'll keep this one. Mouth depth, it's how much it sticks out. You can make her look like a duck. I don't recommend it. Also, bear in mind that when you make lips big, like really big, it might look good when they're not talking, but when they're talking, it's gonna look bizarre. like they're inflated with way too much Botox or lip injections. You can widen the mouth a little bit. I don't do it too much because, like I said, if they have a really large lips, it's gonna really look awkward. This is about as big as you want. This is as big as you can. Porn actress proportions. I don't particularly recommend that. Don't want it too thin either. This is about... These settings are very close to what I already do. You're gonna probably think like, well, this is almost exactly like the default. You didn't do much. But, this is just one that I like, and I'll show you a couple others. The facial features are close to what I almost always do. Mouth height looks pretty good. I might turn the depth down just a little. I hate how they move their head around. I'm trying to, like... The mouth depth, let's adjust it a little more. Gotta remember, the facial structure has the most defining... Like, this is the one I picked. It's under the letter U, I'll remember. But this can change sometimes pretty dramatically what the face is going to look like. So that can also give you more options and things to play around with, but for now I'm going to keep her where... This is the lightest skin tone you can have. They fixed it. In Mass Effect 1, the lightest had like a blue hue. Didn't look very good. Then you've got tanned, red tint. Oh, this is the one that I use for this one. Or is it this one? I think it's in certain lighting, the character's always going to look darker, but if you make your character too pale, they're going to look really weird in a lot of scenes in the game. So I always give them a bit of color. If you're talking about color, I mean, there's a lot of different colors that look normal, and then there's this, where you look like a Martian. I don't know why they put that in there, but you can have fun and make a Martian Shepherd if you like. Not only that, but oh, there it is. No, my bad. This is the Martian. This is the Martian skin. What the fuck? I don't know. I've never in my life seen anybody that color except for Purgatory, the comic book character. It's like a devil chick. And then, of course, you can be absolute jet black. Jet black. She's a redhead, so you can make her more pale, but I give her a bit of color. I think this is the one I use, pretty sure. Complexion's nice. You can make her have really smooth skin, but it also, to me, on this particular game, it looks like they have a little too much foundation on. There's no foundation option in this game. Just, that one makes it look like they're aged a little, or, you know, a little rougher around the edges, but for this particular character, I like the freckles. They look a little more real and a little less dramatic. So now we got the head. Femshep is pretty thin. She's ripped, but thin. So I always give her a thin neck. In certain scenes outside of her armor, her neck looks pretty long, but you're almost always going to see her in her armor, so it doesn't really matter. Face size is obviously like how fat their face is. And if I can make her cheeks really wide, this is how I can make her look like me. Nice and chubby. But no, we're going to stick to pretty normal, even cheek width as well. If you turn her cheeks down too far, she's gonna look sickly. Same with the gaunt feature. So I like to give her cheeks a bit of a define. Cheek gaunt is the one I'm talking about. You can turn it all the way up and it'll suck in those cheeks and they'll look like that they've done methamphetamines. So you want to turn that down a bit. Cheek width. Like I said, I think right about here looks pretty good. Cheekbones. I like to have defined cheekbones, but be careful because they will stick out like they could poke somebody's eye out with those things. So I'm going to turn that down a notch, maybe to here. How about to here? Okay. Ear size, I don't know anybody who actually pays attention to the ears, especially with certain hairstyles. Orientation, if you pull them over all the way there, they're going to go back. If you pull them out here, they'll stick out like my ears. So that's the eyes, that's the nose, that's the mouth. Now we can do makeup. The one thing I never do is use blush. Blush never looks right. I have yet to find a color that looks good on any of my characters, except maybe one character I made as an Asian. But, they just... I mean, that one I guess could be okay, but it's in certain lighting, I found out it's like white. It's white blush, which looks weird, especially once you see it in the light. So here's a couple tips about makeup. I almost always use a very light tone, minimal gloss, because the lips are already shiny. You can't tell here in the character customization screen, but in the gameplay, the lips are going to be pretty shiny. This is without lipstick. These are colors that look good with different makeup. That one's really nice, if you want like a really subtle nude kind of look. Like these are the shiny lips I'm talking about, and then those are without the shiny effect. So, and you can do these kind of colors. I'm not a fan. See what I mean? Like this is a pretty dramatic color. I think this is the color that I like to use for this face. But then you've got the, you know, it looks nice, but after, you know, even though I always put makeup on Femshep, she's a soldier, and I don't like to cake makeup on her to look like a prostitute, you know what I mean? That looks pretty good. These are different colors that can match the hair. Blue, black looks pretty awesome, especially on my favorite Femshep character who's black, but once again, I only do the ones without the lip gloss effect. For this particular Femshep with the red short hair, I use this dark red. And I use this eyeshadow, but you can also take the eyeshadow off, cat eye liner, black eyeshadow. There's like subtle colors, and then there's red, which looks great with her hair and the blue eyes. Then you got black, which almost always looks good with any character, any eye color. That looks pretty nice too. And you got pink, and then you got kind of brownish green. Never use green. I don't anyway. Blue, that's a little extreme for me. So like I showed you before, this is the colors that I like on my Femshep. I like the reddish lipstick and the red eyeliner with the red lipstick. Let me check again. Yeah, it was this one. I'm starting to wonder if her lips are a little too wide. Pretty sure. Yeah, let me go ahead and turn it down just a little. Maybe the size. Is it the depth? Something's sticking out too far. I just want it to be symmetrical to the shape of the chin. Like I said, you can't do as good a job as in Mass Effect 2. The customization is a lot, like, better. The graphics are different, so the facial features are more enhanced and more natural looking. Just gonna double check here. Cheek width, maybe that, because I feel like her cheeks have a bit of an indent that I want to fix. It takes me a while to get the Femshep to look just right. Fortunately, you don't have to watch this walkthrough and copy everything. You can simply, once I'm done, copy the code at the bottom and just type it in. And you can also, you know, fudge with whatever settings you want. If you don't like the hair or the makeup, you can change it. But this is pretty much the face that I almost always use for all the Femsheps. I'm pretty sure this is the nose that I always keep too, but I'll show you the other noses. This one's nice. Then you got these. That looks good with different ethnic group noses. That one, not a fan. That one's okay. Not a fan. Not a fan. Not a fan. Definitely not a fan of that one. Or that one. Or that one. Honk honk! No. So, let's see if I remember right. I think it's not that one. I don't like it to be too narrow either, like she had a nose job. A very obvious nose job. Shit. The one that was already selected was the one I liked, and now I can't remember what. I'm pretty sure that's it. It looks too narrow to me. Damn. Which one was it? Sorry. It looks like that one, but without the hook. There it is. Okay. You can lower or make the nose higher. Kevin Bacon. No. So that's pretty decent. A nose depth, you can make it stick out a little more. I always like to give it a little bit of depth to proportionally have, you know, like if the nose is too sunk in and the lips stick out too much, it's not gonna look just right. Okay, and this, you don't have to use scars. There's pretty cool scars, but most of them are meh. That one's cool. That one's pretty cool. That one's alright. Where the hell? Oh, that one's just a little one on the cheek. This is my favorite. I love scars on eyebrows, and this one has a little one on the chin, which isn't as noticeable. The one on the eyebrow is the most noticeable. If you want her to look rugged and badass, you can put any scars on her face you like. I always like scars like that, but I don't like the position of it. There's that one too. It kind of looks cool. But for this particular Femshep, I'm gonna do this one, the scar with the chin, and but like I said, type in the code and you can change anything you like to make it look like, you know, any particular features that you like. Like I said, since this is the face that I use the most, I'll show you I'll just use this as a demo and I'll show you the different hairs and makeup that I like on other characters. There's a particular blonde character, and this is my favorite blonde hair, but there's also, that one's pretty cool too. There's also the ponytail, and that one looks nice too. But yeah, when I changed the, I think those eyebrows are the ones I use the most. The ones at the very, or these ones look good. And I don't like to have platinum eyebrows because they just don't look right. With the blonde character, I tend to pick this color. Just a color that's not black, not brown, just a little bit something in between. Right about there. And get rid of the scar. Okay. And for a blonde, most people that have blonde hair tend to have blue eyes, but I'm gonna give her, like, there's green. I like to give her, like, dark eyes look great on blondes too. And there's brown eyes. I think I do dark green eyes. Yeah, it's kind of greenish gray. That's actually close to my hair, my eye color. As for makeup, on blondes, I like to do like a very subtle, minimalist makeup. You can have makeup that matches the hair, obviously. Actually, I'll just stick to the no makeup color. And on the blondes, there's, like I said, lots to choose from. Red's one of my favorite. That's my favorite for the blonde, because it kind of accentuates the color of her eyes. As you can see, there's lots of different ones. That's another favorite of mine. I'll go ahead and show you. If you change your hair to black, this is another color that I've used for or brown. See, there's quite a bit of differences between, like, makeup and hair can change the character quite a bit, even though they have a very similar face. So this is one of my favorite hairs. But like I said, I have to change the eyebrows and the eye color in order to make it look how I want it to look. So I'll show you another setting that I use. I like to use a dark brown ponytail. Okay, change it to these eyebrows and closer eyebrow color. Just about there, or there, yeah. And I changed the makeup as well. Like I said, I never use blush. That's the color I like for the lips with the brown hair, but yeah, I don't like to do the one with the gloss. That one looks better. But yeah, like you'll get an idea of what looks pretty decent with different Femshep eye color, hair color. Actually, I do think it's the black one. And then I changed the color of her eyes for this particular design. I think I do light blue, or that one looks really nice too. So I do like a lightish blue and a lighter skin tone, like not that light, like right about there. Oh, I forgot. With that one, I use basically, yeah, this is the one with the brown hair. I'm pretty sure the hair's darker though on the one I did. Like I did a bunch of different ones. If you watched my Twitter, there we go. You probably saw the different faces and I asked which one do you guys like best. This was one of them that people seem to like a lot. And I also made an Asian one, and I made one that looked like she could have been like any ethnic background with darker brown skin. And the one that I love to use ever since I played Mass Effect 2 was my African-American Femshep, which I named Rain Femshep, and I'll show footage of the one I made there. It's still my favorite, and it's just one of the many that I've put together, but it's my favorite because I don't know why. She's awesome. So I'm pretty sure those are the settings and facial features that I like to use the most. That's pretty much the gist of it. So like I said, this is the face that I think looks the best on any Femshep design. And I also had a video where I showed the, you probably saw it, that side-by-side video. I did a classic Femshep design enhanced with the Legendary Edition graphics that looks similar to the new Femshep, only just basically closer to the classic one, but updated. I picked the similar hair, similar makeup, similar skin tone. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions or would like any other videos like this, let me know. I will put the facial codes in the description, and that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.